talking to the key. It's December 2020 right now, mid-December. Congratulations to those newly promoted. I think there may be some more movement coming up pretty soon. It looks good. It's all good news. As you know, the current lists have been extended. And all that means is instead of the next sergeant's test being in 2 months, February coming up, it's going to be a year and 2 months. That's all. And lieutenant's exam, captain's exam, you expect them to follow at the latest. Okay, today's lesson, real quick. There's 3 questions in here, all on Brandon Witchwaters. One of them goes back to the forms you fill out when you discharge your firearm, all right? Because this is one of those situations where there's one form for one actor, another form for another actor. They're similar. How many do you make, et cetera, et cetera. You know, it's like the separate 61 rule. You know, people say, oh, 3 guys walk in a bar, they robbed 2 people, sexually assault another. How many? Go like this, guy. I'm not listening to this shit. Don't get confused. Nail the rules the way they're written, and then when they confuse them on the day of the test, you pick them right off, okay? It's the same thing with this. The sergeant makes the TRI incident report. The cop makes the TRI interaction report. The sergeant's report gets the number. The cops don't. The sergeant makes one report for the whole incident. Each individual cop makes their own, all right? I'll give you a graphic. You'll see. Today's lesson is 5 pages. It's worth spending time on. There's a graphic regarding these reports. There's a question asked on them. Let me throw this at you without giving away the details of the question. Some questions, you know, you're kind of at a disadvantage regarding the difficulty level of questions. Standardized testing, like the SAT you took in high school or the LSAT or anything like that, they generally go in descending order of difficulty. In other words, if it's question 1 or 2 and it looks like a ground ball, scoop it up, fire it over the first, it's a grounder. If it's question 7 or 8 and it looks easy, slam on the brakes, look very closely. It's not going to be easy. For you, question number 1 can be the hardest question on the test. We don't know. You've got to take, and you'll have plenty of time. 6 hours is plenty of time. You may get 100, you may get 120 questions. We don't know. We'll know as we get closer. But take your time. Look at each question closely, all right? Just don't assume it's a grounder because it looks like one. Maybe it is, but you don't know. All right, moving on. Then we got one about these new crime scene cones that are out there. They put it to 2 different procedures. They describe them very specifically. They tell you how many you have to have, where they're stored, how to use them, etc. And then there's off-duty employment. Almost always you get a question. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 questions on off-duty employment. And there's parts of it that get specific to, like, the job. You're going to be a firearms dealer. You're going to be a security consultant, something of that nature. You can't disregard that. It's not like so often in a patrol guide, you go to general rules, and when it gets specific about someone at the borough, you can ignore that. Off-duty employment, you got to know it all. So the changes they made are very specific. I've covered every one of them. There's some commanding officer duties in there. Obviously, you don't have to study those if you're not taking the captain's test. Read them, but don't study them, right? So there's 3 questions, 5 pages. Take your time with the questions, all right? And hopefully you get them wrong because that always has more impact on your memory, you know? All right, like I said, it's December. Happy holidays to everyone. Stay safe and hang in there. By the way, NYPD is doing a freaking awesome job in these very, very trying times. And we're all very proud of you guys, man, and gals. Thank you.